We've just noticed things as we're filling tanks and doing normal jobs because we haven't got to Italy yet, but the entire generator pedestal has broken. It's cracked all the way around and it's just barely held in. It's just kind of sitting there under its own weight. Is that focused? Yep, done. Outrageous considering the price.
Even back down to here, Trent.
Yeah, the whole thing's cracked out. Yeah, I know. It's just barely held on in one corner. The back's cracked out.
Yeah, it's like just...
The problem is, Tynan, as you pay all this money for provisioning for generator.
Well, no, imagine if there was a generator bolted to that. The weight of the generator coming up.
We took provision for generator because we had our own generator. It's probably 60% of the weight of the Northern Lights generator with the same output, essentially. So we're setting that up in our own enclosure to charge just to purely fast charge lithium bank in an emergency. So we paid 9,837 Australian dollars at the time on the options list, which is $6,874 today, US dollars. Now that option today for the same option is 12,105 AUD or 8,459 US dollars.
That's just my gel coat up on the edge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just pathetic.
Yeah.
Oh. No, look. This one's separating as well. I've just noticed that this side's cracking out too. It's not up here, it's just down in this bottom corner behind the cable. It's cracked all the way around. We took the soundproofing off one of the walls. This came off the back wall, so there was access to re-glass the base in.
It wasn't hard to come off either. It's just contacted adhesive that wasn't prepped properly, so it peeled
yeah,
off.
but our boat doesn't have this everywhere. It just had it in the generator enclosure, which is a wet locker. It's not closed cell at all. So you've paid like God knows what. Because there's two. There's the marine one, which is expensive, which is what we've got through most of the boat.
Rubber solution or something.
And then there's this one that just soaks straight in. It's absolutely disgraceful. It just soaks straight into it. Look, gone. So this wet locker gets seawater in it, and this thing just absorbs seawater and just stinks and is foul.
It starts to rot.
And that's what, and it starts to rot. As you've seen in the rest of this video, the module, which is probably the most valuable part of the entire thing, the module that's made to the fiberglass that's made to fit in the boat and be attached, ours broke out transit from Cape Town to Europe, and it wasn't particularly rough. It was only held in by like a tiny bit at the back, was all that was stopping it just sliding around in there. Maybe 100 millimeters of connection left. It was actually held in by the back was held in by the glued down foam, which rapidly fell away where it had been wet, and it started to stink and collect seawater and whatever else. I have no idea why it's even in there, because I don't think it's used anywhere else on the boat. The other foam has like it's a soundproofing, and it has like a liner in it, and it's multi-layered, and I think there's a fiberglass layer, and that's what you find in the engine bays and all the other places. And it's the same foam that they use on the X5, they use on the Voyage, they use on various other boats, because it's kind of it's the acceptable standard of foam in Cape Town. So yeah, our generator base broke out. It'd have to be some sort of quality issue, would be my opinion, considering that it looked atrocious when it came apart, and there was like rubbish and dust in the join where it had come apart. We had to have the generator module glassed into the hull and reattached so we could install that generator. I was saying I wouldn't like to think of how bad it would have been if there had actually been a Northern Lights generator attached to it. We found a guy that would do it, and the shipyard would sign off on it, and that cost €2,000 to get all the muck and crestomer and whatever it is cleaned out, and it re-glassed in and then flow coated over. we should be doing our own work on our own boats, our own upgrades, not running around fixing broken warranty issues. Like, before you take the generator option, think really carefully about whether you feel like possibly having the experience that I've had. Warranty issues on a production boat are fine, and processes are okay, but when you have hundreds of warranty issues, which is in my mind completely unreasonable, it's equally unreasonable to expect end consumers to spend God knows how long filling out these claim forms for each individual window and each individual hatch and each individual broken knob and the generator ripping out. And I'm just so tired. There's been positives, like you make the best of every situation, but when you look at the entire picture, it is just outrageous what went on with this boat.